Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking at something
Oh, yeah?
that I think is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
really kind of the intersection of ancient wisdom and artificial intelligence.
Oh, interesting.
So we've got some excerpts here from this book, Rumi in the Age of AI by Murat Durmus.
Okay.
This book just came out in January of this year,
Yeah, just dropped.
2025. So very, very new.
Yeah. It's fascinating. The author doesn't just like analyze Rumi's poems or anything like that. He kind of like imagines Rumi himself
Oh, wow.
talking to us, digital age.
Yeah, and it's not just like a poetic gimmick or anything. He's really grappling with
Right.
the challenges and opportunities that AI presents.
Yeah.
You know, I was hooked right from the introduction where Rumi asks, why do you ask machines to light your path when your heart still holds the sun?
Right. Many of the quotes in this book are like that. They
Mm.
really make you stop and think.
Yeah. And for those who might not be familiar with Rumi, he was a 13th century Persian poet, um, also a scholar and Sufi mystic. But
Mm-hmm.
his work really goes way beyond any one time or place.
Yeah.
It's about universal human experiences, longing, connecting to something bigger than ourselves.
And you could argue those themes are even more relevant now with technology
Totally.
all around us.
Yeah. So in the book, Durmus talks about this idea of an inner algorithm.
Mm.
It's like instead of always like feeding data into computers, what if we paid more attention to the programming inside each of us?
Yeah, it's a powerful concept. A lot of the quotes emphasize that the wisdom that we seek externally
Yeah.
from AI, from experts, whatever, might actually already be present within us.
Yeah.
It's about introspection, tapping
No.
into our own code, so to speak.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of one of the quotes in the book. You are not just a line of code in the algorithm. You are the entire algorithm in a line of code.
Wow.
It's like, are we just these tiny parts of a massive digital system? Or do we each contain something unique and powerful?
Mm.
And especially as AI keeps advancing so rapidly, what does it even mean to be human anymore?
That's a core question that the book grapples with.
Yeah.
While machines can process information and even like mimic emotions, Rumi's voice kind of reminds us that they lack the depth of human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder, love, compassion, the search for meaning. These aren't things you can just code.
Right. There's this other quote that I really liked. The cloud holds infinite knowledge, but only your heart can decide what counts.
Mm.
So with AI, we have access to more information than ever before.
Right,
But does that automatically make us wiser?
right.
Or do we need something more than just data processing?
I think that's where the heart comes in, that element of discernment. It's not just about having access to knowledge, it's about determining what matters,
Right.
what aligns with our values, what guides our actions in the real world, not just the digital one.
Totally.
AI can give us options, but it's up to us to choose.
It's like we need both the processing power of a computer and that human element to really navigate this world. This tension between AI's capabilities and what makes us uniquely human is actually illustrated really beautifully in a story from the book called Rumi and the Oracle.
Oh, yeah, the mirror and the water. It's a brilliant section of the book. It's fictional, of course, but it really gets you thinking.
Yeah. So in this story, the Oracle represents this like super advanced AI.
Right.
Think way beyond anything we have now.
Yeah.
It has like almost limitless knowledge and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a catch.
Right.
The Oracle, despite all of its knowledge, lacks feeling and genuine understanding. Think of a mirror,
Right.
It reflects everything perfectly,
Okay.
but it can't actually experience any of it.
Yeah. And that's where Rumi comes in.
Right.
He's like this bridge between cold, hard data and actual lived experience.
Exactly. He shows the Oracle that being human isn't just about knowing facts.
Yeah.
It's about feeling. It's about connecting. It's about finding meaning.
There's this one detail that I thought was so fascinating.
Even though the Oracle can process language, the story really emphasizes that Rumi's presence, just his way of being,
Yeah.
communicated something that the AI just couldn't grasp through words alone.
Right. It suggests that human connection goes beyond information exchange.
Totally.
There's this intangible element that AI, no matter how advanced, can't quite replicate. It raises some really interesting questions about the limits of technology.
Okay, so we've talked about this inner algorithm, the importance of human discernment, even in this world of infinite data.
Yeah.
And now this really intriguing story of Rumi and the Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other key themes that stood out to you in the book?
Oh, there are so many. We've barely scratched the surface.
I know. We've got to keep going.
Definitely.
You've got a lot more to uncover.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. One that really stuck with me is this idea of technology, AI, especially as a tool. You know, it's not inherently good or bad. It's all about how we use it.
yeah, like that quote, you keep asking GPT for advice. Have you tried asking yourself?
Right. Exactly.
It's funny, but it's so true.
It is. It points to something we all do.
Yeah.
We turn to these external sources for answers.
Yeah.
Even let algorithms make decisions for us, when sometimes the best guidance comes from within.
Totally. And the book doesn't condemn AI or anything. It just cautions against becoming too reliant on it.
Right.
To the point where we neglect our own inner development.
Exactly. There's a difference between using AI to augment our capabilities and letting it become a crutch
Yeah.
that prevents us from doing the hard work of self-reflection and growth.
Like instead of upgrading our devices every year, how about upgrading our souls?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's where real change happens,
Right.
not just in some software update.
That makes me think about this whole idea of humanity's unique gifts
Yeah.
that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If AI can mimic intelligence and emotion, what is it that truly sets us apart?
That's a question that Rumi's voice kind of keeps circling back to in this book. Yes, AI can process information at incredible speeds and learn patterns, but it lacks that depth of human experience.
Yeah.
Our capacity for love, compassion, empathy, creativity, the search for meaning.
Uh-huh.
Those aren't things you can just program into a machine.
And it's not just about what we feel, it's also how we think.
Right.
AI excels at logic and linear processing.
Right.
But humans have this ability to think outside the box,
Uh-huh.
to connect these seemingly disparate ideas,
Right.
come up with creative solutions that just defy algorithms.
It's that spark of intuition,
Yes.
that leap of imagination that AI just hasn't quite mastered yet.
I love that there's a quote that I think really gets at this. AI learns by feedback. A heart by love, both must be trained to transcend their limits.
Beautiful.
It's acknowledging the potential of both,
Right.
but also pointing out that they operate in very different ways.
Exactly.
So it's not about human versus machine.
Right.
It's about recognizing the strengths of each
Yeah.
and figuring out how they can work together,
Mm.
complement each other.
Absolutely.
Like imagine if we could harness the processing power of AI,
Right.
but guide it with human intuition and compassion.
Now you're talking. That's powerful.
There's this recurring image in the book that I keep coming back to.
Okay.
This idea of the field.
Uh-huh.
Rumi keeps mentioning this field beyond zeros and ones,
Yeah.
the space that exists beyond the digital realm.
Right.
It's intriguing, but I don't know if I totally get it.
Well, the field is a central concept
Okay.
in Rumi's mystical poetry. It's a realm of pure consciousness, a space of unity and interconnectedness, where the boundaries between self and other dissolve.
Okay.
It's where duality, good and bad, light and dark, human and machine,
Yeah.
cease to exist.
So in the context of this book, it seems like the field represents something that transcends technology,
Yes.
a space where we can connect with a deeper reality,
Exactly.
maybe with our true selves, even with something divine.
It's a reminder that even in an age dominated by the digital, there's a spiritual dimension.
A deeper level of reality
Yeah.
that exists beyond the ones and zeros.
I love that.
And by tapping into this field, we can access a wisdom and peace
Yeah.
that technology just can't provide.
Even though we're surrounded by all this tech,
Right.
there's still this other realm, this deeper space within us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's available to us if we take the time to connect with it.
It is. It requires conscious effort, though.
That makes me wonder, how do we navigate this increasingly complex, tech-saturated world,
Yeah.
but remain true to ourselves, to our values, to our human essence?
Right. How do we avoid becoming slaves to the very technology we create?
These are questions that everyone listening should be asking themselves. This isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. This is about how we live our lives now.
It affects us all. Rumi in the Age of AI doesn't offer any easy answers,
Yeah.
but it gives us a framework for thinking through these really important questions.
Okay.
It encourages us to approach technology with mindfulness, to cultivate our inner lives.
Yeah. And to remember that even in this world of algorithms, the human heart still holds immense power.
And there's that one quote that really brings all these ideas together.
Mhm.
There is a field beyond zeros, and ones I will meet you there.
It's a promise, an invitation, a challenge all rolled into one.
It really is.
It's a reminder that even amidst the digital noise, there's a deeper reality
Yeah.
waiting to be discovered. A space of connection and meaning where technology and spirituality can coexist.
Beautifully said. That's a beautiful thought.
It is.
And a really powerful message to carry with us as we navigate this increasingly complex world.
Yeah, it really is. It feels like this whole conversation has been about finding that sweet spot, you know, where we can benefit from AI's incredible potential,
Right.
but without losing ourselves in the process.
That's a great way to put it. And it brings us back to that core message of this whole deep dive.
Okay.
Rumi's wisdom, though centuries old,
Yeah.
offers surprisingly relevant guidance
Yeah.
for navigating our modern world. It's not about rejecting technology.
It's about harnessing its power in a way that elevates our humanity
Yes.
rather than diminishes it.
It's like we need to upgrade our souls
There you go.
along with our devices
I like that.
to keep pace with all this change.
That reminds me of another quote from the book.
Yeah.
You automate the world, yet your soul still longs to be free. It highlights that tension, you know,
Yeah.
between our desire for efficiency and control through technology,
Yeah.
and then this deeper yearning for freedom and meaning.
Maybe that inner freedom that Rumi's talking about, that sense of wholeness,
Yeah.
is actually the key to using AI wisely.
Right.
You know, if we're grounded in our values and connected to that deeper field we were talking about,
Right.
maybe we're less susceptible to those quick fixes and all those distractions.
You're less likely to get pulled in.
Yeah. So for our listeners who are now swimming in all this information about Rumi and AI,
Right.
what's the takeaway? What can they actually do with these ideas?
That's the big question. I think this book and our discussion here is an invitation to think about your own relationship with technology.
Okay.
Are you using it consciously and intentionally?
Yeah.
Or has it become something you just rely on without thinking? Is it adding to your life?
Right.
Or is it maybe replacing real human connection?
Yeah.
Creativity,
Actually
self-reflection.
thought about demonizing technology,
Right.
but being aware of its influence
Exactly.
and making those conscious choices.
And remember that question that the Oracle asked?
Yes.
If we are halves, what is the whole?
Ooh, I like that.
How would you answer that now?
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how everything's connected.
It does.
The potential for bringing human and artificial intelligence together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the whole emerges when we can combine the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know, the efficiency, the analytical power of AI, but also the intuition, the creativity, the compassion
Right.
that are so human.
Beautiful. I love that.
So technology becomes a tool for expanding our consciousness,
Yeah.
deepening our connections,
Deepening our understanding.
unlocking our creativity.
Instead of just automating our lives.
Yeah. This has been an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
we have. There's so much more to explore.
But for anyone who wants to learn more, definitely check out Rumi in the Age of AI by Murat Durmus.
Yeah. It's a thought-provoking read.
It really is.
It'll stay with you.
It will. Until next time, fellow deep divers, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep connecting.
And remember,
Yeah.
there's a field beyond zeros and ones.
We'll meet you there.